the Glassman scientific questioning on the startling area of last July. Correlation for such an inharmonic sinus will spread overall things. There is and the piezo effect and piezo pickups. So I did this video which compares these things and uses something sort of spectrum analysis, which is basically based on FFT. And then I got into modelling guitars and got into making my own sound models using a process called convolution, etc. So there's a lot of that on my YouTube channel from a few years back, and I basically started a thing called Tone Freaks, which was and designed and started building with something called Arduino, and then getting into something called Beagle Black. Anyway, it's uber nerdy stuff, but this is a dialogue that I had because there are lots of belief systems around guitar tone, and it's a kind of a non-contentious thing for other people that don't care about the debate about whether wood makes a difference, and people get really excited, you'll see. So this is various fields, all of which I've done a great deal of research and learning on, and you know, they're important issues that deserve to be discussed. So there's Wal, there's Eric, and this is this famous joke. 97% of practicing mediums agree that communication with the dead is real. Settled seance. That really made me hoot when I saw that. Yeah, so I've blogged about something. There's a philosopher called Pigeon who's in New Zealand, and he wrote a paper actually in blank verse called Complots of Mischief, which is very interesting, and it responded to criticism of academics that were accused of being conspiracy theorists. Yeah, so it's an interesting question. Right, mathematical elitism, determinism, free will. Mainstream academic science in their clinging to conventional modes of thought, essentially Platonic and empirical. So that. Anyway, so these are all aspects around this subject, and let's now just have a look at this. This is Dude837, who does videos about using MaxMSP, which is an object modelling thing for sound. Professor Steve Keen has an object modelling software called Minsky, and that models the economy with money in it as money is created, using double entry bookkeeping, etc. Yeah, effectively MaxMSP and Minsky are very similar, and use similar algorithms, is the point I wanted to make there.
Amplitude and phase.
And then what is important then about FFT and this whole point about climate is this point here. The difference between the time domain and the frequency domain. Tone in music lives in the frequency domain. That's where it actually comes from. Things like volume, etc., live in the time domain. So there are linear and non-linear things, and then in the grain detail, when you sort of dig into it, you come in with this. It's not even just three-dimensional. It's a multi-dimensional question, and FFT analysis, spectral analysis, finite element analysis is able to commute the very.